First Squad, this is Cadet Laughlin, and I will be giving you guys a brief on our mission, Bobcat Lightning. So to start off, this is our task board. Obviously we're First Squad. We're tasked with attacking to destroy on Objective Phantom to deny enemy influence on the battalion operation. Alpha Team, you guys are going to be the sole element with the task of attacking to destroy on Objective Phantom with the same purpose. Bravo Team, you guys are going to be the security element, tasked with containing the enemy on Objective Phantom in order to enable the main effort. And then, in addition, we do have a gun team attachment from Weapon Squad. Then they will be tasked with support by fire on the objective in order to enable the main effort. Our key weapon systems are going to be the M249s in Alpha and Bravo team, and then the M240 within the gun team. So to orient you guys to the AO, this is where we are right now at the assembly area at the patrol base. And then this is our AO Ronin. We are bounded by AO Amarok and AO No Slack to our east and west respectively. And then our boundaries as far as grid lines go are the 37th Northern, the 31st Northern to our south, the 17th Easting to our east, and then the 10th Easting to our west. To our northwest, we have Objective Reaper. To our west, we have Objective Ghost. And then to our south, we have Objective Phantom. As far as areas of interest, there is a platoon of Z-10K attack helicopters at the Titan Air Force Base. It's about a click south and half a click west of Objective Phantom. And their trigger is the ID of key U.S. Force battalion members or high enablers, and their reaction time is 30 minutes. As far as IDF, there is a 155mm howitzer battery throughout the AO, and their trigger is anything greater than a squad-sized infantry element with a reaction time of 10 minutes. And then there's also a PP-87 on Objective Phantom that fires daily between the hours of 0300 and 0800 and 1500 and 1900, and their reaction time is 5 minutes. This makes it very pertinent that we stay undetected throughout this mission. There's also a motor platoon in reserves that is a couple clicks away from us to our southwest. However, since their trigger is the U.S. Force advancements along main supply route, we're not too worried about it because we won't be anywhere near supply routes. Next slide. This is our GTAO. As you can see, there's a lot of obstacles. There's severely restricted terrain everywhere in the form of mountains and water. It is very plausible that we will be doing a stream or a river crossing. So team leaders, make sure that you equip your team as necessary, wet weather gear, wet weather bag, extra socks, etc., whatever they need. As far as avenues of approach, I see we have three options. We can make a straight south towards Objective Phantom, or we can bank east, handrail the mountains, and then we can attack from the northeast or from the east. As far as enemy avenues of approach, I see it that they will either retreat to the northwest, get reinforcements from the northwest, or flee to the southwest. As far as key terrain, we do have key terrain on Objective Phantom. It is a road intersection. It's a road intersection as well as high ground. This will offer a better battle position to whoever has it, as well as the ability to hinder enemy traffic in the form of mounted infantry along that key terrain. So it's pretty pertinent that we get that. As far as observations, fields of fire, the enemy does have IDF that is capable of employing indirect fires throughout the entire AO. So they do have fields of fire pretty much everywhere when it comes to IDF. As far as direct fires though, there is a big field of fire on Objective Phantom, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. This all is a lot less dense as far as vegetation than the rest of the terrain, so there'll be a pretty big field of fire on Objective Phantom. And then as far as cover and concealment as well, there is very dense vegetation throughout the AO, and this will work in our favor because we will largely remain undetected via the concealment. And then there's a little bit more I'm talking about, just so you guys can get a visual on the enemy avenues of approach, fleeing northwest or getting reinforcements from the northwest. As far as weather, there's going to be low visibility, light wind, medium to high chances of precipitation, heavy cloud cover, and high temperature and high humidity. I would say overall, as far as illumination, this does work in our favor. The enemy that we are going to be engaging with does not have night vision capability, and as such, low illumination will work in our favor. As well, the wind and precipitation may hinder the enemy's ability to employ aerial support. This will also help us out pretty drastically. And then the precipitation and cloud cover as well help with diminishing that visibility, allowing us to remain undetected. The only real issue here is the high temperature and humidity. We're going to be moving around a lot, so team leaders, make sure that you guys are drinking water. It's very important. This is our enemy situation, 2 levels up. Our company is concerned with this platoon and then their attachments as well. It's about 40 people. It's a plus up platoon at 90% strength. Organic to it is going to be 3 infantry squads, and then attached to it are going to be that recon squad as well as this mortar team down here. Overall, the task and purpose is to occupy the main supply routes within the AO in order to deny enemy freedom of movement. The most dangerous weapon system is going to be the Sqd 141, which is similar to the Striker with a mounted M2. And then the most common weapon system is going to be the QBZ 95, which is similar to that M4. Next up, we have the platoon analysis of the enemy. This is the enemy that we are concerned with here. Task and purpose is, again, to control that main intersection and deny enemy freedom of movement. Organic to them are going to be a headquarters team, machine gun team, anti-tank team, and then a rifle team. And then attached to them is going to be this mortar team right here. The most common weapon systems, as well as the most dangerous weapon systems, stay the same, except I would add to note that another very dangerous weapon system is going to be that PP-87 82mm mortar, just because of its indirect fire capability. Here's a little bit closer what we can expect, right? Our CSK is faced north to get a observation on these roads right here in order to deny enemy freedom of movement, and then our mortar team is going to be faced to the east in order to disrupt us. Once again, it is pertinent that we remain undetected by these 2 recon squads as we go, and that's why our avenue of approach was hand-railing the mountain range. Going into our enemy's most likely course of action, and then as well as the enemies that we'll actually be facing, we will be facing a plussed-up infantry machine gun team, and their attachment is going to be that mortar team. So here's that mortar team right here. Their range is going to be 5.6 kilometers, which obviously doesn't fit on this map, but their machine gun team does. Organic to it is going to be that sniper. They're most likely going to be in the wood line, looking out for security or for identification of United States forces. And then they're going to have that rifleman and then that machine gunner positioned to pull security for the mortar team. This is their most likely course of action. The high value targets are going to be the mortarman, as that is our mission, and then the high payoff targets are going to be the sniper and the machine gunner, as this will enable us to attack the mortarman. This is the enemy's most likely course of action. However, the most dangerous course of action is if this CSK here is down protecting the mortar team. Our squad is not equipped to deal with that CSK, and we'd be in for some trouble if that happened. As far as enemy capabilities by warfighting functions, as far as intelligence, they don't have a whole lot on us. All they really have is that recon squad screening. The enemy does not know our disposition or composition within the AO, and we would like to use that to our advantage. As far as movement and maneuver, they are highly mobile with their mounted infantry because they have the upper hand on all the main supply routes within the AO. And then as far as fires, they do have IDF capabilities throughout the AO. As far as sustainment, we can expect that every battle position that's close to a main supply route, like this one, will be well maintained because of their superiority on the main supply routes. And then as far as command and control, it's a pretty big weakness for them. We're expecting that their HQ element is going to be the northwest, meaning that they do not have any command and control control on Objective Phantom. This will work out for us because if we can push the ops tempo of our operation, then their responsiveness might not be able to keep up, and that would give us an upper hand. As far as the concept sketch and friendly mission and intent, our mission statement at the battalion level is that the 1st Battalion, 5th Infantry Regiment attacks to seize Objective Bobcat no later than the 31st of August at 0500 hours in order to enable the liberation of southern Torbia. Our expanded purpose is using disjoint squad operations will force the enemy commander to split combat power between Objective Bobcat and Highway 11. This allows us to contest the main supply routes, and it also buys us time to reconsolidate for follow-on missions. Our end state is going to be to contest main supply routes within the AO, to disrupt enemies without them gaining any knowledge about our composition and disposition within the AO. And then for civilian end state, we would like to minimize casualties and damage to infrastructure. And then for friendlies, ideally we reconsolidate our friendly elements and then posture them for follow-on missions. Our key tasks to do this are to disrupt the enemy operations in depth, deny enemy uncontested high-speed avenues of approach, retain combat power, avoid decisive engagements, and then reconsolidate the 2nd and 3rd platoon. Our mission statement at the company level is that Charger Company will disrupt the enemy forces within the AO no later than the 30th of August at 2200 hours in order to deny enemy interference on the battalion operations. Our expanded purpose and key tasks at this level are largely the same, as well as the end state. As far as adjacent units, this is kind of where we get into the graph. We have 2nd Squad, who will be going along Axis Smash in order to ambush on Objective Reaper to destroy the enemy on Objective Reaper. And then we have 3rd Squad, who will be doing a demonstration on Objective Ghost in order to deceive the enemy regarding our friendly forces, disposition, and composition. And then here we are, 1st Squad, attacking to destroy on Objective Phantom.